Southeast Asia, the final frontier. These are the voyages of Rio missions, to seek out the lost and the unreached people groups, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Darkness, the absence of the light. Millions of men, women, and children are living in darkness at this very moment. The Southeast Asia region that includes Cambodia, Myanmar, Laos, Sri Lanka, Thailand, and Vietnam have seen its share of darkness. Wars. Southeast Asia is home to the world's longest ongoing civil war. The Korean National Liberation Army has been fighting and seeking their independence from Myanmar for the past 65 years. Several countries in the region are still hurting from the scars of past wars. Laos is officially the most heavily bombed country in the history of warfare. Between 1964 and 1973, the United States military dropped more bombs on Laos than it did worldwide during World War II. Nearly a third of them failed to detonate, and they're scattered across half of the country's agricultural land. Some experts have warned that it will take a century before the 80 million cluster bomblets can be completely removed. And of course, we are all aware of the Vietnam War and its consequences. Genocide. In Cambodia, 1975, a communist group known as the Khmer Rouge, led by Pol Pot, seized control of Cambodia and renamed the country Democratic Kampuchea. The Khmer persecuted the educated, such as doctors, lawyers, and current or former military and police. Khmer Rouge's control resulted in the killing, the stealing, and the destroying of an estimated 2.2 million people from 1975 to 1979. That's the equivalent of 1,506 men, women, and children killed every day for 4 consecutive years. Sexual perversion. Bangkok, Thailand is known as the sex tourism capital of the world. This dark area of the world is known for its freak shows, where women's bodies are reduced to grotesque objects exploited for tourists' entertainment. Behind the brothels posing as massage parlors are painful stories involving women trafficked from Burma and other Southeast Asia countries, minors sexually exploited by pimps, and global economic disparities that force women to sell their bodies. In Bangkok, the number of prostitutes exceed the number of Christians. Think about that for a moment. Prostitutes outnumber Christians. Pagan religions inhospitable to the gospel. In Southeast Asia, the Christian faith has faced persecution of all sorts for as long as it has been around. Politics have made a huge impact on the oppression of Christians. Laws were formed to ban the practice of Christianity. Religions are in constant conflict with each other, and Christians were among the multiple groups targeted in the genocide committed by the Khmer Rouge in the 70s. Communism remains one of the major enemies of the Christian faith. Rio Missions has been tasked with an incredible mission. With an exploding population of over 262 million in Southeast Asia, Rio Missions finds itself working in the most unreached area on the planet. The Southeast Asia region is home to 594 people groups. 376 of those people groups have been identified as unreached people groups. An unreached people group is defined as a people group in which there is no indigenous community of believing Christians with adequate numbers and resources to evangelize this people without outside assistance. Normally, these people have a 2% or less of a Christian population. This assignment puts Rio Missions on some of the most fertile ground on the planet as far as the gospel is concerned. With over 20 years' experience, Rio Missions is equipped with an army, a strategy, and a heart for lost souls. Our strategy of raising up local leaders to plant churches is resulting in the gospel of Jesus Christ spreading like wildfire throughout these dark regions. 14 months ago, Pastor Ronnie Hepperly and Rio Missions was given the assignment of not only sending the light, but delivering the light to Southeast Asia. From August 2016 to August 2017, Rio Missions and the Global Fire Advance have made phenomenal strides for the kingdom. But we need your help. For far too long, many followers of Jesus Christ have viewed global missions as a compartmentalized program in the church for a select few called to this purpose. Yet when one studies from cover to cover through scriptures, one realizes that global missions is the purpose for which each one of us have been created. We've been called, created, and commissioned to play a part in making disciples of all nations. So what might happen if such a mission mindset was not only shared among a few extraordinary people, but ordinary members within our churches? Dream with us for a moment as we picture such members passionate about praying for the nations. Imagine them joining in their personal prayer time with what God is already doing in Southeast Asia, Central and South America, Africa, and India. Allow us to take it another step forward. What might happen if God's heart for the nations was reflected in our sacrificial giving among our churches? God has given the people of the United States of America an unprecedented wealth for a reason. He wants His praise known among all His people. Matthew 25 serves as the lifeline of Rio Missions. Through the sustainable giving of Matthew 25, Rio Missions is able to plan and execute global mission trips around the world. Through giving, you are empowering others to fulfill Matthew 24:14. This giving allows you to help spread the gospel to all nations. Finally, what might happen if more of us were going to the nations? The ever-expanding population of the world necessitates that we think of more creative ways for as many Spirit-led people as possible to go to the nations, optimizing all the opportunities God has afforded us. Our goal is to add to our existing army so that we may have a limitless missionary force comprising of full-time and part-time missionaries, all doing so intentionally for the spread of the gospel among unreached people.